What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. And we just got an interesting update from Ian Rappaport on Kansas City Chiefs impending free agent, no longer, right guard Trey Smith. Ian Rappaport reported earlier today that the Chiefs are planning to franchise tag star guard Trey Smith, sources say. An intriguing move as KC keeps one of its best players for $23.4 million on a one-year fully guaranteed deal. Ian Rappaport followed up with a quote tweet saying the Chiefs hope to do a long-term deal with Trey Smith, and those discussions will continue. But for now, the top guard is off the market. Now, I have a lot of thoughts on this about the Kansas City Chiefs tagging Trey Smith, which is not something that I quite expected before today. Now I'm going to try to keep my opinions to a minimum and just kind of talk about like what this is on the surface and now the likely scenarios that are going to potentially unfold for the Kansas City Chiefs and Trey Smith. That's what I want this video to be about. I'm probably going to record something after this with Michael Darcy of KC Sports Report, just kind of giving our opinions on the Trey Smith franchise tag situation. But this is a little bit of a little bit of a surprise because I think everyone thought either the Kansas City Chiefs are going to work out a long-term deal with him before free agency, or he's going to hit the open market and he's probably going to get an offer from somewhere else. Another team's going to pay more than Kansas City is comfortable with. But the franchise tag now pretty much prevents that from happening. Trey Smith is not going to be a free agent this year, and that's final. Now, there's a couple things here, though, to unpack. So, first of all, I'll just say this right here. I think the most likely scenario now that they franchise tag Trey Smith is that the Kansas City Chiefs will come to a long-term deal with him. Now, like I said, I'm going to say my opinion on that for another video because I don't want to get into that. But I do have some strong thoughts about that. So I think the most likely scenario right now at this point, if I were to put money on something to happen, I would place my money on the Kansas City Chiefs extending Trey Smith at somewhere around $23 million per year, which would make him one of, if not the highest paid guard in the NFL. The franchise tag actually makes him the highest paid guard in the NFL on an annual basis. So there's that. Now, though, I will say the door to Trey Smith potentially getting traded is now open. It was not open before because obviously he was going to be a free agent. You can't trade a free agent. But now that he's been franchise tagged, it does give the Chiefs that option. It does give them an out that if they can't come to a long-term agreement with Trey Smith, they can simply shop him around. And I don't know if you guys have seen the free agent market or kind of followed that at all, but there were not a ton of great free agents out there this year. If you go and look up top free agents available in the NFL, look up articles talking about the top free agents that were expected this cycle, Trey Smith was always like in the top 3 of upcoming free agents. Like he was going to get paid this offseason if it wasn't by the Kansas City Chiefs. So I think there would be interest for him. There would be demand for him in a trade, especially because teams aren't really going to be spending their money this free agency with a lack of options out there. So I think a team would be willing to give up, a draft pick for a very young player still in Trey Smith, who is one of the, most respected guards in the NFL now. So they had that option. And I think, there always is that possibility that they don't come to a deal and they have to end up trading him, which is something that Kansas City has done before. Or they, if you look at the history of the franchise tag in Kansas City, pretty much all of the players except for Chris Jones that have gotten the franchise tag have left the organization. And Brett Veach would say things, about them, about something positive about getting a deal done long term, and then it just never happens. But I don't necessarily see that happening here. I don't think that's the most likely outcome. It's not impossible, but I don't think it's all that likely. I think, again, my money is on the Kansas City Chiefs coming to a long-term deal with Trey Smith. And I certainly hope that's the case. Nate Taylor of The Athletic actually reported the other day that he did not expect the Kansas City Chiefs to use the franchise tag on Trey Smith. And my thought there was, okay, I guess they're either confident in the fact that they're going to come to a long-term agreement, or they're confident in the fact that they're going to let him walk. Either way, the Chiefs know what is going to happen. They know what they're doing. And this isn't to say that they don't know what they're doing, but this is quite the flip-flop for the Chiefs to now give him the franchise tag, especially, this far out from free agency still. It makes me feel like the Kansas City Chiefs are either really close to a deal. They feel like they're really close to a deal. You don't franchise tag someone unless you feel like you're really close to a deal. And this just all but, ensures that you keep them around, or you don't know what you're doing. And so you franchise tag them because you don't want them to walk for nothing. I don't know, guys. I don't like using the franchise tag. They used the franchise tag on L'Jarius Sneed last year, and immediately the expectation was that they were going to trade L'Jarius Sneed as soon as they franchise tagged him. And then the problem was nobody really wanted him for the price tag, and there were concerns about his knee. And so we were sitting around, free agency started, and L'Jarius Sneed's franchise tag was holding up things that the Kansas City Chiefs wanted to do in free agency. 2 years ago, when the Chiefs franchise tagged Chris Jones, that held up their plans in free agency. They thought both times that player was either going to have a contract or they were going to be traded by the time free agency rolled around. So I'm just saying that the Chiefs better be damn sure that they know what they're doing with Trey Smith before free agency opens. Otherwise, having a $23 million cap hit on the books for this league year is going to hinder your free agency plans. That is going to keep you from adding players elsewhere because you now have Trey Smith on the franchise tag. So the Chiefs have pressure on them now applying this franchise tag. But Brett Veach did sound confident in his press conference the other day at the Combine that the Chiefs, are confident that they're going to get a deal done. I sure hope that's the case because I don't like using the franchise tag, and sometimes it can end up backfiring on you and hinder your free agency plans. But either way, I think we're going to know what the deal is with Trey Smith relatively quickly. If they're that close to a deal, I actually think you'll see a deal done probably here in the next week or two. If we get past a week or two and no extension has been agreed to yet, I think that's when we can start to get nervous, but we'll wait until then. But like I said, guys, I want to share my opinions about this in another video and my thoughts on the Chiefs giving Trey Smith a big money extension, if that were to happen. So be on the lookout for that. But in this video, just wanted to lay out the possibilities for you, break down the news that the Chiefs are giving Trey Smith the franchise tag. Certainly an interesting update, but I want to hear from you guys in the comments what your thoughts are on the Kansas City Chiefs using the franchise tag. Are you a fan of this, or is this a risky move in your mind? Definitely want to hear from you all in the comments. All that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this. Make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com for more. Last but not least, follow me on Twitter at showmefb. That's all I got for you guys in this one. I'll see you in the next one. And as always, go Chiefs.